Hey everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Marvel. I'm Petter, and I have a suspicion of something that might be happening in Agatha All Along. So they dropped a new trailer out with D23. Don't have any of the images up here, but there was one interesting thing that I picked up on. And that was Mrs. Hart, or Deborah Jo Rupp's character. You may know her more as Kitty from That 70s Show. But she's only in part of the trailer. And as I've watched it a couple times now, there seems to be a transition point. When Agatha is in Westview, we see her interact with Mrs. Hart. We see Mrs. Hart with them in the basement, getting ready to go on the Witch's Road. But after a certain character appears, Deborah Jo Rupp's character disappears. So, I have a sneaky suspicion that her character might not be the same one that we saw in WandaVision. It might be a different Mrs. Hart. This one being more magical in nature. So if you watch the trailer, you can pick up pretty quickly who shows up when she disappears. When she disappears from the shots, and obviously this is a trailer, I'm saying this as if it's not cut out of order anywhere. But there's two distinct elements to the trailer. There's Westview and there's the Witch's Road. And we don't really see Deborah Jo Rupp's character on the Witch's Road much. Who joins them on the Witch's Road, though, that is Rio, the Green Witch, who comes up kind of like a zombie out of the ground. It's the best way to describe it. And I think that Mrs. Hart never really went along with them. I think it was Rio who basically impersonated Mrs. Hart to be able to get them going along the road, to give them the little bit of extra boost. But Rio is probably the antagonist of the show. Somebody who's kind of pushing and poking and prodding at them, pushing them further along the road, but has her own reasoning for doing that as well. And to get them started, maybe to plant that seed, to hint at, you can get what you lost back. She used somebody who was part of Agnes's life. So it was somebody who was familiar, not somebody new who came and poked at it, being like, hey, you should go do this. You should go on the Witch's Road. But somebody who Agatha probably had built up a little bit of rapport with in her time trapped in Westview. And so I think that Mrs. Hart, well, something might have happened to her. But what will it be? I'm not sure. I'm just very curious to see how this plays out. And we're just over 1 month away when I record this. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be a month until Agatha All Along. So I plan on doing a few more of these videos, different theories, different thoughts on what might be coming in that show and kind of what the trailer might be telling us thus far. But with that, let me know your thoughts on this theory observation down below. Do you think that Rio could be hiding out in Westview as Mrs. Hart? And maybe even be the one who's pushing Agatha along? Let me know that down in the comments section below. And if you enjoy this content, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you want to check out our other content, obviously there are more videos you can check out, but we also have a podcast, 10 Minute Marvel. There, you can catch up on all your Marvel news, theories, and we do lists, drafts, rankings, stuff like that fairly regularly. You can find that wherever you find your friendly neighborhood podcast, including over on the podcast tab here on 10 Minute Marvel on YouTube. But with that, we'll see you next time.